Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Rico back at it again, folks. Welcome back to another edition of the Rico Report, brought to you by the Buffalo Fanatics. If you guys are excited, if you guys feel good about this Bills dub that we just finished off with the Bears, smash that like. If you're excited about the division, 3 years in a row winning the division, smash that like. We are less than about 500 subscribers away from 25,000 subscribers. Do me a favor, smash that like, but not only smash that like, subscribe to the channel and help us get to 25K subscribers, because the Bills are on top. We're 12-3, and we just won a division for third straight year. Shout out to the Bills. Folks, 35-13. It didn't look good, but the end results are the end results, and the dub is what matters. That was a win we needed, a win that came a little tougher than we wanted to. I don't know about y'all, man, but that I don't know. The win is nice. Don't get me wrong, but like, for a team that was missing half their roster, that's probably got the worst roster in the NFL right now. For a team that not playing for a whole lot, we really made it look tough. They didn't do anything that really stood out to us that was like, oh my goodness, this was a game that we should have just waxed these guys. We should have. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. Like we always say, a win is a win. And like we always do, we got to give flowers. We got to give flowers to the other team. And a big shout out to the Chicago Bears. They made us freaking fight and earn this one. They really did. We didn't just kind of dominate. They fought it. They fought us for it. And some of these games are tough games because you don't want to overlook them, but you somewhat are looking over them. And now that you've got the win, you're like, okay, sigh of relief. But my goodness, did we make it hard for ourselves? I'll just tell you. But we got to give the flowers to the other team. And we'll start with the Chicago. Listen, man, Chicago, they had some adversities to go through, right? Missing receivers, missing linemen. They traded 2 key pieces of their defense. A whole lot of things happened. Shout out to my man Brian Bowers. What's up, Brian Bowers? I see you, kid. So there's a lot of things that happened in this game, right? The weather wasn't the greatest for both teams. But like, we had the better team all together. Coaching, GM, name it, we had it. And by halftime, had you been looking at who the better team was, you would never know. You would never know. And that was a little concerning for me. It was definitely a tale of 2 halves. That's my man John Yoda said that. It was definitely a tale of 2 halves. Because at one point, I was asking myself, did Josh Allen even get off the freaking plane? What the hell was going on for real? But we got to give flowers to the other team. That's how we do. We can't just we don't want to slander them. But we got to find out what's going on. So Justin Fields, the big time back the big running back that's been running for crazy yardage and making mad points. We made him look like the Justin Fields that he's supposed to look like, right? With a team with very little weapons around him, he's had to do a lot of these things by himself by running the football. And we said, no mas. You're not about to run the football like willy-nilly. You're going to be a quarterback. We're going to make you do what you're supposed to do. And they did, right? He went 15 for 23, 119 yards. He had a very good first drive. You got to give it to him. Very scripted first drive. Good job to their offensive coordinator. 15 for 23, 119 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. He was sacked twice with a 92.5 rating, right? It's what we expected from him because he's got nothing to throw to, right? O-line's banged up. It's what we expected. On the run side, David Montgomery, 16 carries for 62 yards, 3.9 yards a pop, so 4 yards a pop, no touchdowns. It's what we expected. Justin Fields, 7 carries for 11 yards. We completely shut him down, and we didn't give him the opportunity to try to take over and do what he does. We took care of business in that regard. By the way, let's go to the receiving room. They didn't really do anything, right? Cole Kmet was our leading receiver with 5 receptions for 27 yards. The next guy up, David Montgomery, 4 receptions for 22 yards. And everybody else had 2 receptions. Now, we had the big reception by Velus Jones over Elam / Trey White. We'll never know what's going on with that. But, I mean, we'll go from there. And Dante Pettis had that reception for a touchdown. But for the most part, relegated them to really doing nothing whatsoever. Defensively, we made them look good. I'm gonna just put it that way, man. They had 1 sack. The 1 sack coming from Jaquan Brisker, safety. Go figure. He's their leading sack artist. And they had he had 4 pass breakups. So not much really to write home about this team. And I got to give a big shout out to my man Nate Peterman. Nate Peterman came in and went 3 for 5, 25 yards, and an interception. I mean, really, he's got to give his team a shot. So they threw up a duck, and my man Nate Peterman was relegated to another interception. Hey, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with my guy Nate Peterman? But he got on the field, and that's what matters. But he looked good, trying to make some things work for them. But for the most part, this team should not have been able to hang around us. This team should not have been able to even put points on the board, man. We let these guys put up 13 points. Like, field goals, fine. You know what I'm saying? That first drive, that we let them hang around. We let them hang around, and I hate it. Hate every bit of it. Now, let's get into the overall thought process of this game. We came into this game knowing what was on I guess what's at stake, right? We needed the division. And the division we earned. We earned that division. We got our win. 3rd straight year with the division. And you gotta give a kudos to this team, man. 12-3. The Bills are 12-3, and they can run the table. Running the table is one thing, but if you think you're gonna run the table with the way we played offense today, nah, that's not gonna make it. That's not gonna do it. But we settled down, we got our act together, and we started doing what we can do, and that's running the football. We're capable of running the football. It's just that we have to have someone that's ready to believe in this team that can run the football. Ken Dorsey has to believe that we can run the damn football very well. And sometimes this offense is maddening to me, but I'll get into that a little later down the road of this podcast. My man Visal Pereira says that game was never close after that first Bears drive. That first Bears drive looked good. That's the best they looked. I wouldn't say it never looked close after that. It's just that was the best they ever looked, and then they just never looked good going forward. But we didn't look any better, so it made it look like they're playing a decent game, right? Until we started to really get our act together. We're like, okay, let's put these things away. But that's where we stand at this point. Now, another super chat coming in from my man, PVC fan. What's going on, man? Says, you're playing this game down was never in doubt. Sorry, you're playing this game down was never in doubt. Ran it for 200 plus, showing we can win any way we need to. No hype. Come on, Rico. AFC beast again. If I'm reading it correctly, you're playing this game down. I'm not playing this game down. But if we're being real, wasn't there a part in this game where you're like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? We're down 10-6. What the hell is Josh Allen doing, throwing across his body, almost throwing an interception? This wasn't a good game. I don't want to get into it too much, but this wasn't Josh Allen's best game. This was a rough one for him, man. Let's honestly be real with each other. Like, yes, we won the game. We ran the ball well. We absolutely did. That's one of the best parts of this game, that we were able to get Devin Singletary over 100 yards this year. Can you believe it's 15 games straight we never had a 100-yard rusher? 15 games straight we never had a 100-yard rusher. Come on, man. Like, we got to be better than that. We got to be better than that, at least. 15 games straight. My goodness, man. I mean, we were talking about it. The last 100-yard game that Devin Singletary ran for was against Atlanta. And Atlanta, that game was what, last year? Last year at the end of the game, at the end of the year, that's the last game. Like, come on, so we got to be better than that, for real. But we're not. We're definitely not playing this game down. I can promise you that. I love the fact that we won, and I love the fact that we were able to see an actual run game. But Ken Dorsey's unpredictable, right? When he knows the run game's working, he still tries to fit the pass game in. Like he needs to put it in there. Like when the Patriots have something that's working, they don't stop until we stop it. They keep going. If you can't stop the run, we're going to keep running the rock. These guys couldn't stop the run whatsoever. I mean, look what we did to them. We ran for 254 yards rushing. 254 yards rushing. Yo, keep running the fucking football. But there were moments where we didn't want to do that. We were trying to force the pass game. I just don't get it. Carlos Hayes says, yo, Rico, you be spot on about the run game. Josh would be even better if they use our backs more. Balance. You know what I'm saying? If you get the defense knowing that you can run the football, they're more on their heels, ready to stop that run. And now our play action would be intense, right? They wouldn't know what's coming their way. But we still try to sit here and let them know that we passed the ball. We know. We got number 17 back there. We know we can pass the ball. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I don't want to sit here and doom and gloom on this game because a win is a win, and I love it. Go ahead and put Gabe on that milk carton, man. This guy's you got me laughing on, man. Go ahead and put Gabe Davis on that milk carton. We'll talk about that. I mean, listen, we know what Gabe Davis is, right? The last several games, he's shown us who he is. He hasn't been the guy that we need him to be. We thought he was going to be that number 2 guy, legit number 2, and he certainly can be. But we got some work to do. Shout out to my man Eddie Mark. What's up, Eddie? Eddie comes in with a super chat and says, "Hey, gotta give guys a break, Rico. It doesn't get much better than 35-13. They're doing something right. No, they are doing something right. But it took some time for us to get our act together. And let's not act like that last touchdown wasn't a garbage touchdown. Let's not act like that. All right. Let's be real. They turn the ball over. We come in. We go for it on 4th down. We put the points on the board. I mean, that's a garbage touchdown. We all know that, right? So if you had Dawson Knox on your fantasy, this was great. If you had Josh Allen, this was great for you for that. But come on, let's be real, man. But Eddie, I do understand what you're saying. 35-13 is commendable. We'll take it. And it's going to sound like, man, Rico can never be too happy when his team wins. I love when my team wins. But if you look at this and say, yo, who's next? We going to wax that ass. Who's next? You have got to be kidding me. Because there's no way that we're saying, yo, bring on Kansas City. Bring on Cincinnati. They're saying bring on these top teams because we're ready to roll. If this performance tells you that we're ready to roll, then I don't know what to tell you because that doesn't tell me. That tells me I'm like, yo, we got a lot to work on. We got a lot to work on because we were not in sync today. Like you have a bona fide elite receiver and you want to tell me that you can't get that elite receiver the football not until the second half? Are you kidding me? No, let's talk about this for a second. Stephon Diggs is one of the best receivers in this game. Top 5 receiver in this game right now. And you can't get him the football until the second half? What is Darrelle Revis out there? What is it, Deion Sanders? What, Champ Bailey's out there? Who's out there? Who's on this defense that you're so shook that you can't get him the ball? Knock it off and give me a break. I don't want to hear about that shit. They blanketed in my ass. They did not blanket his ass. He beat the receiver like you wouldn't believe. And you had Stephon Diggs going like, come on, fam, I was wide open. There's no freaking way you're telling me that they took away Stephon Diggs in this game. Not believing it. No freaking way. You think Devontae Adams doesn't get blanketed every day? You get a double coverage here? He still gets working. Come on now. I'm not buying that. Sorry. If you guys believe that, so be it. That's your issue. I ain't buying it. You can't tell me an elite receiver is not getting the ball until the second half. Nah, sorry. Not for me. Anyway, but there were some good things in this game. Don't get me wrong. There were some good things. So let's go to the box score. Because you guys know how I feel. I like to go to the box score. I want to see what we do and what we did and how we did in the box score. So let's start with number 17, the last week's player of the week. 4 touchdowns, 300 yards. The guy was just a pure monster. He's that dude. This week, not so much, right? 15 for 26, 172 yards, 6.6 yards a pop, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, sacked once with a rating of 71.3. Not good. Not good. See, I keep seeing things like this, right? This is what annoys me. Come on, Rico. We ran great today. Conditions and game plan. I don't give a damn about no damn conditions. If you think this was a great game, come on, son. Like 35-13 does not tell the story. If you watch this whole game, how many times did you go, golly, what the hell's going on? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I watched the game completely different. I just know what's coming up ahead. I just know what when it comes to playoff football, how things have to change. Josh Allen was making some poor piss decisions. Or piss poor, should I say. He was making some piss poor decisions today. And if you guys don't see that, I bet. Shout out to my man Jeff King coming in with a super chat. Appreciate that. Got to give that bing, biggity, bing. Let's go, man. He says, listen, I don't give a fuck what the final score was. Anybody who sits on here and glorifies this win with those 2 pathetic interceptions at the fucking ignorant shit by Davis not going down when you're up by 10, Bears are 3-13. This isn't KC or the Bengals. Wake up, people. Thank you fucking very much. That's exactly what I'm talking about. If you think you can bring this performance in against the top tier teams, y'all got another thing coming. Y'all got another thing coming. I'm not going to sit here, hey, we won 35-13. We're glory. Get the fuck out of here. You're not, this is the wrong channel for y'all, man. Just because we won doesn't mean I can't be critical. And this was not a great game. This is not a great game. 15 for 26, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks, and that 1 touchdown came at the end. And he had a rushing touchdown, excuse me. So let's keep it moving for a quick second here, okay? Because before those things, it wasn't looking good for our guy Josh Allen. But let's continue. And thank you for that, Jeff King, because ain't nobody want to hear from me, so you're gonna have to hear from somebody else. You're gonna have to hear from somebody else. Let me keep rolling. And if you don't like it, hey, I ain't mad at you. You can go somewhere else where they can say, this was a great game, guys. This was awesome. We scored 35 points. Our run game was amazing. Yeah, we got some things to clean up. We can go that route. But I'm going to call it like it is. And if you like that, smash that like and let's keep it rolling. Let's go. 15 for 26. We talked about Josh Allen. Not a great game by Josh Allen. We know that. It's going to happen. There's going to be games where he has amazing games where you're like, holy crap. If we don't go anywhere with that guy. Without Josh Allen, we can't do shit, and that's facts. But there's going to be games like this where you're like, oof, thank goodness other guys stepped up. Because that's the thing, man. Thank goodness other guys stepped up. Now let's keep going. Devin Singletary. 12 carries for 106 yards, 8.8 yards a freaking carry. 1 touchdown with a 33-yard run. Boy, did he make that yard. He made everything happen on that run. That was all individually. That huge hole, number one, massive hole. But he made that move on that safety, gone. That was a great play, individual play by Devin Singletary. 12 carries, 106 yards, 8.8 yards a pop, a touchdown. Great freaking job. First 100-yard game in 15 games for Devin Singletary. Long time coming. Needed that. Shout out to Devin Singletary. James Cook. Y'all could have gave my guy another carry. James Cook, 11 carries for 99 yards, 9 yards a pop, 1 touchdown with a 27-yard rip. When you have running backs that are doing this with 12 to 11 carries, you think you just keep giving them the football. Don't stop. Keep giving it the football. Keep feeding the football to them. If we have to run for 400 yards, let's roll. And by the way, I got to give a shout out to, I don't know who it was. I think it was Kevin Syracuse. Kevin Syracuse called it. He said, hey, we could run, this is a hot take, we could run for 250 yards. Then he backed down off of it. He backed off of it. But he was damn right. 250 yards rushing. Let's go. Shout out to my man Kevin Syracuse. You called that shit, boy. You called that. Matt Ealer says, yo, KC needed OT to beat the Texans. And we played the Bears better than the Eagles. Absolutely. But guess what? You know how the Eagles, you know how the KC bounce back. They whooped on the Seattle Seahawks. You know, that's what you got to do. So guess what? If we had this type of game that we had today, we better come tomorrow. I mean, next game and whoop on the Bengals. Like, yes, those games will happen, but like once or twice. We've been winning games, close games. This is a nice win. Don't get me wrong. We put some points on the board, but boy, do we have some things to clean up. We got some things to clean up. And if you guys don't see that, I'm sorry. We got some things to clean up. We do. Now, run game on fleek today. Love what we did in the run game. I love that Ken Dorsey a little more than halfway committed to them. Like, these guys were on fire, man. They couldn't be stopped. The O-line played extremely well when opened up holes for these guys, man. We had these guys. We were just mauling these boys, man. We had them on their backs. Straight up, man. But you know what? It is what it is. But 31 carries, 250 yards, 8 yards a pop, 3 touchdowns today. I'll take that. I'll take that, man. I love it, and I love every bit of it. Let's keep that up. If we can keep that trend going, knowing that we can run the football, it's December, late December, January. This is where we have to start establishing ourselves and committing that we are a run team. We can be a run team. We don't always got to fit in the pass all the time, man. Sometimes Allen's not going to have a sexy game. Sometimes he's not. And that's what we got to commit to running the ball. And today that was nice. It was nice. I feel like sometimes we try to force the pass a little bit. We tried to force it in when we didn't need to. Like, there was a time we were first down. Run the ball. Nope. We throw the ball. Anyway, I digress. But run game, excellent. Let's go to the receiving room. Our leading receiver, Gabe Davis, 3 receptions for 45 yards, 1 touchdown, and a fumble off of 6 targets. So he caught 50% of his targets today. I got a super chat coming in. Hold on a sec. Eddie Mark says, yo, Rico, what score would have been more convincing for you and Jeff King? It's not about the score, Eddie. Forget about the score. If we won this game 10-9, okay. It's not about the score. You guys are just looking at the score. So the score tells you everything, doesn't it? It shouldn't. There are teams where, there are games where the game is tight all the way through, and then one team breaks out, and then things happen. Things start to kind of snowball, right? But the score doesn't tell you the story. I'm telling you right now, the score doesn't tell you the story. There are teams where we've dominated and the score didn't look good. You know what I'm saying? We kept teams in the game. So if you want to hang on the 35-13 score like we dominated, that's on you, because I didn't see it that way. That's just me, though. I didn't see it that way, but other people might feel the same way, though. Some people might feel like they might feel like you, where they're like, this was an amazing game. I loved it. Not me. Yo, is it just me, or is Saffold killing us? Ooh, Saffold's had a rough couple games. Saffold's had a rough couple games, man. A, getting flagged multiple times, and B, sometimes just getting straight up beat by his dude. But you know what? These guys go 60 plays, right? And out of the 60 plays, maybe 5 of the 60 plays, it looks rough and it costs us, right? So sometimes you got to look at the whole totality of the game. But we've been hearing a lot more of number 76 flag. So I get that part. I get the concern for sure. My voice is dry. So receiving game, 3 receptions for 45 for Gabe Davis. Dawson Knox, 3 receptions for 38 yards. Stephon Diggs, 2 receptions for 26 yards. Devin Singletary, 2 receptions for 19 yards. And the rest of the crew had 1 reception. This is what I'm talking about, man. I mean, it's not going to be perfect all the time. But 6 targets for Gabe Davis, 5 targets for Dawson Knox, 2 targets for Stephon Diggs. It make sense for me. Your best receiver is getting less targets than, you know what I'm saying? So obviously I want to rewatch this game and really see what was going on. I highly doubt that he was so blanketed that there's nothing he could do, because even with my own eyes, I saw him beat one guy one-on-one and he was gone. Josh Allen just didn't look his way. You know what I'm saying? It happens. But dude, 2 receptions on 2 targets, that's it for your best receiver. No, we can't have that, fellas. We can't have that. Jessica Tennis, what's up, Jessica? Jessica says, Josh did his best to keep the Bears in the game. Thankfully, the Bills defense would not. Thank you, Jessica. You're absolutely right. This is not a good game by Josh, man. And he knows that. And if people want to say, but we scored 35 points, wait till he has his press conference and hear what he has to say. He will fully admit to you that it wasn't a good game by him. He knows he could play better. Nothing else for me to tell you that. That's what he's going to tell you. Not me. He'll tell you that. Bartek, what's up, Bartek? Comes in with a super chat. Bartek says, disregard the score. There was not a single minute where I felt that we were going to lose this game, even at half. Neither did I. I knew we were going to win this game. It's just that we were sloppy doing it. Extremely sloppy. We gave these guys an opportunity to have a thought that they had a chance to win this game. Even when Josh threw that damn terrible interceptions, these guys were getting hyped. Like, okay, we got this. And our defense had to come in and shut shit down and take it away. But boy, oh boy, Josh definitely did give them a chance to think that they were in this game. Thank you, Jessica Tennis, because that's true. Anyway, receiving wise, when your best receivers only getting 2 targets, maddening, puzzling. You know what I'm saying? Like, as an offensive coordinator, and then I'm not shitting on Ken Dorsey, but as an offensive coordinator, you notice that your top receiver is not involved. You find a way to get him involved. You put him in the slot if you need to. If you need to get him warmed up, a button hook here and there, right? Get him warmed up, get the reception, get him the ball in the hands. Okay, so now we're warming him up. We're going to start, you know what I'm saying, get a good feel for it. But just, we didn't see that. Anyway, we'll clean it up for next game because we got a big one coming against the Bengals where they have big-time ballers. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and Jamar Chase. So if you think that we're going to sit here and not deliver the football like we're supposed to when these guys are lighting shit up, we got another thing coming. That's a good team. Now, the Patriots really ruined their chances because they had this game. They had an opportunity to really give it to them, but they ran the football, in my opinion, when they should have passed in this instance because you got a fresh set of downs. Let's see if you can get something in the end zone when you have a minute left, and they ran the ball, fumble, game over. Ouch, Patriots. That's just the type of year they're having. Awful. Awful. Right in the mic. I apologize for the cough in the mic. Anyway, defensive side of the ball. Leading tackler, Tremaine Edmonds. Second leading tackler, Matt Milano. You know what I'm saying? The two best defenders on the squad right there, leading the way in tackles, right? 5 solo tackles for Tremaine Edmonds, 4 solo tackles for Matt Milano, and he had a pass breakup and a QB hit. Damar Hamlin also had 6 tackles for 4 solo tackles, and he had 2 tackles for loss. So he was a lot better than he was last week. Shout out to Damar Hamlin. Now, I'm gonna give a shout out to Damar Hamlin, but it's not a good shout out. Damar Hamlin. I'm a call out, not shout out. I'm a call out. Damar. Trey White had an opportunity to have an interception. It was right there. He's right there waiting for it. Here comes Damar Hamlin trying to get the interception too. Both these players are going for the interception, and they both dropped the ball. Damn it, Damar. Let Trey White have it. Let Trey White have the interception. You had to come in with your greedy ass and try to get the interception. I know everybody wants an interception. I know they do. But let the man have it. He's come back from a big-time injury. It would have been a good feel-good story for the defense. The defense came in and shut down the Bears, and it would have been nice for this guy to come out with a nice interception and take that. But Damar Hamlin had to come in there and ruin it for Trey White. Now, I'm smiling because I'm laughing because clearly I'm lightheartedly joking. But at the same time, I was like, come on, let him have it. Let him have it, man. Trey White was like, damn it, man. Had that shit. Move. That was for me. They called my name. That was my interception. That thing was a duck. He was sitting there waiting, pulled that shotgun, and I'm taking that, man. Here comes Damar Hamlin. Damar. Shout out to my man James for that super chat. Appreciate that, James. Coincidence that Bates played today and we had an amazing run game. He was the spark last year on the line, end of the season for the run game. I do recall when Ryan Bates showed up, the run game started getting better. Now, keep in mind, though, folks, we put up 254 yards rushing, missing Mitch Morse, right? So we had to shuffle a couple things along the line, right? Even I think Ike Butker got in the game as well. So, and Ryan Bates got a little bit of an injury, so we had to shuffle some things around, but he came back and played the rest of the game. But truth be told, if this is where we peak in terms of learning and getting the run game going, then bring it on. Bring it on. And I'm loving that fact that we did this without Mitch Morse, right? Not that Mitch Morse is gone, but that we were still able to run the football without Mitch Morse, our general in the line. So salute to the run game, salute to the O-line. They did the damn thing. But more so, salute to the defense, man. Defense came in stifling. We got 2 sacks today. We had 11 tackles for a loss today. 11 freaking tackles for a loss today. Love every bit of that, man. We had 5 pass breakups as well as 4 QB hits. So this defense came to play like they always do. We always love it when this defense comes to play because that's what's going to win us championships. You know what I'm saying? When the defense comes in, because we have some big time offenses that we're going to face at one point or another. Bengals is going to be a big test next week. Then we're sure to face the Kansas City Chiefs again, again in the playoffs, and who knows who else, right? The point is we've got to make it to the Super Bowl, and we're going to face some good offenses along the way. So it is great that our defense is playing as strong as they are. We're going to need that. We're going to need these guys to stay healthy and continue to get these stops because it's going to be huge, right? Whether you want to let the weather play a factor in this game, everybody was affected by the damn weather. You know what I'm saying? But we came in and made the stops where we need to, and away we did. You got to give a shout out to this team, man. Real talk. But for the most part, winning the game 35-13, it looks good for the score. It looks good for points for, all that good stuff, the point differential. We get that part. If it has to play a part in if we don't continue to win out, then this will help us putting points on the board like that, right? But for the most part, man, you can't ever be mad when your Bills clinch the division. And that's the big one for me. And the clinching of the division is huge. And a big shout out goes to this team for clinching, right? We now are on top and we run it, man. We are in control of our destiny. So we just have to keep it up, keep our foot on the pedal. And it's a big matchup on Monday Night Football against these Bengals. Let's make sure that we handle business. Now let's go to the team statistics. And that's the one thing that stands out to me is the team statistics. How do we roll? Where do we stand? How does this play out? Here we go. Passing first downs. I mean, it's going to be tough to pass the football in the first place, but passing first downs, we had 9 to the Bears 6. Third down efficiency. We went 6 for 11. Awesome job on third down. We're over 50%. If you're in the 40 to 50% range, you are a good offense when it comes to converting on your third downs. For the Bears, they weren't a very good third down team anyway, because going into the season, they were converting 44% of the third downs. You know what I'm saying? So that's not going to cut it in this game, right? And then on fourth downs, they were even worse. They were even worse at 41%. So, and we had these guys at 2 for 12. See, what the Bills do is we keep our opponents at 39% on third down conversions, right? 39%. So like I said, if you're under 40%, you ain't doing diddly squat. We had these guys less than 20% conversion rate. So keep up the great work defense. Defense came through and did what they're supposed to do. Let's keep it rolling. Obviously, the Bills went for the one where they went 1 for 1 on the fourth down, and we converted. That was great for that touchdown. 58 complete plays today. We had 426 total yards. 254 of those were in the run game. Shout out to the run game. We kept this offense to 209 total yards. Kudos to them. We've kept them. That's actually under the threshold. We are allowing, give or take, 300 yards of offense. We kept these guys down to 209 yards. Good job, defense, right? 3.5 yards per play. That's what I'm talking about, man. And like the Bears offense, like with that, it's like that's what our defense was supposed to do, their offense. And we did that. So defense did their job today. Obviously, keeping these guys at 13 points, hell of a job, because we averaged 17 points a game to our opponents. We kept these guys down to 13 points, and it could have been way less. But anyway, we'll take that. Going forward, so we had obviously the 254 yards rushing. We kept these guys down to 80 yards complete rushing today. My bold take that we were going to keep Justin Fields under 80 yards. Boy, did we ever. We kept this boy under 20 yards rushing. So shout out to this defense. Penalties. Whoo! Penalties were a problem today, folks. 9 penalties for 72 yards. The Bears were only penalized twice. Go figure. But the 9 penalties, man. We had some really good offensive plays put together, offensive drives put together, only to be negated by a stupid penalty, whether it's defensive holding, where Trey White mauls a player, right? Or Roger Saffold with a holding call. Just dumb plays that we got to be better. And you know, what I mean, we're gonna get better. We're definitely gonna clean that up. But that's one thing we got to clean up because we clean that up, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't shoot ourselves in the foot. Boy, do we are we better? Are we better offensively, potently? But it stifles us when those things happen. When we get a penalty and it takes us back, it's like, come on, son, we got to be better than that. But that's just those are the observations that I see. Shout out to my man Tony Dubs. What's up, Tony Dubs? Tony Dubs comes in and says, "Hey, it was great to see the defense step up after the first series. Everyone stay safe, warm out there. Much love from Florida." I love how he's sending love from Florida, and I appreciate that. I don't live in Buffalo, but everybody's feeling some kind of weather issues right now. But up north is definitely feeling it. So shout out to Tony Dubs showing y'all love and staying safe. I hope you guys have power and keeping warm and doing best you can out there because it's a tough one, man. If you can't be on the roads, don't be on the roads for no reason because there's some pileups that are happening right now with very little visibility. So let's try to stay safe out there, people. So back to the regular schedule program, folks. Here's the deal, man. When it comes down to it, the turnovers is what kept them in the game, and the turnovers is what initially got them out of the game, right? So turnovers are a big factor, and if we don't turn the ball over, this would have been a much better victory and a much bigger victory. But we kept them in the game with our dumb bozo turnovers. We just can't have that. We just definitely can't have that. 2 interceptions thrown by Josh Allen, and if he could have them back, I'm sure he would. Time of possession. At the end of the day, it was somewhat even. The Bears had 31 minutes of time of possession to the Bills 28. So pretty much even. They had to make some plays, man. And they took 8 minutes off that first drive and they scored. And after that, they never really got into a consistent rhythm with trying to get in and scoring on us. So defense was the name of the game today. They came through and they really handled business. We kept these guys under the threshold of hurting us in any way. The problem is we couldn't get out of our own way. The turnovers, the penalties, we've got to clean those up because against better teams, we won't stand a chance because they're going to capitalize on that. And here we are trying to play catch up. Let's not play catch up. Let's try to stomp these guys right from the jump. So that way we're not having to worry. You know what I'm saying? But overall, we'll take the dub. We'll take the dub. Clinch the division. We now are in control. We have to do what we must to keep that up. And we got the Bengals next. And the Bengals, you know, we barely got out of it with the Patriots. So it's one of those things where, and here's where I can kind of say, Rico, calm down a little bit. And here's where I can. And here's where I can say it. Other teams are struggling too, right? Like right now, the Cincinnati barely got out of against the Patriots, and the Patriots are fighting to stay in the playoffs or at least have playoff hope, right? Houston right now is beating Tennessee. Houston is beating Tennessee right now. San Francisco leads the game right now. It's 7-0 against Washington. Right now, Philly with Gardner Minshew is up on the Cowboys 10-7. So this is where I have to kind of say, hold on, let me calm down a little bit. I might be a little harsh on my Bills, but that's just me. That's just my nature. That's just what it is. I want my teams to win so damn bad that I'm overly critical sometimes, but rightfully so. I'm not wrong in my criticism. I might just be just a tad a little much for some folks. Some people might not like it, right? Detroit, we're supposed to win this game against Carolina. Carolina wins this one 37-23. Didn't see that one coming, right? Let's keep it pushing. Cleveland. I thought Cleveland were definitely going to beat New Orleans. New Orleans comes out with a win 17-10. Kansas City 24-10 win against Seattle. A much improved Seattle team, right? Baltimore beats Atlanta 17-9. The freaking Minnesota Vikings squeak out another one 27-24 against the Giants, right? So those are, I mean, this is December, January football. Teams are fighting for their lives and they're trying to play spoiler. So I tend to understand that not everything's going to be honky dory. We're going to whoop ass every single time. But when you're playing a team like the Bears that are depleted, they got nothing, we should be able to come down and just rain all over them. But it happens. It definitely does happen. Um, Super chat coming in from my man Eddie Mark. What's up, Eddie? Eddie comes in and says, "Hey, Josh doesn't go hard against scrubs. He plays best in the biggest games. When he embarrasses Cincinnati, we would call him an MVP candidate again. I'm still calling him an MVP candidate. Just because he had not a great game today, he's still MVP candidate because if you take away a guy like Josh Allen, he's such a big part of this team that like we are where we are because of Josh Allen. Obviously, defense plays a part, run game plays a part, coaching plays a part. But yeah, he's still in the MVP conversation for me. I don't know about y'all. If you're going to take him out, then cool. If Joe Burrow, with the performance he put in today, is MVP performance for you, cool. I mean, I don't know what my guy Pat Mahomes did today. I mean, Pat Mahomes was not greater either. He was 16 for 28, 224 yards, 8 yards a pop, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions with a 106 rating. No, those are not gaudy numbers, but he's MVP candidate. And we've beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. So Pat Mahomes is still in it for me. I mean, excuse me, Josh Allen is still in it for me. That's for damn sure. But I appreciate that super chat, my man, to my man Eddie Marks. Appreciate that very much. So, now for the most part, folks, and let me read this super chat before I go on to the next point here. Shout out to my man Eric Schmitty. What's up, Schmitty? What's happening, bro? He goes, "It's 50 and sunny in New Mexico." Again, I'm gonna keep it 100. Despite the ugly nature of the Bills win today, offensively, I give credit to Dorsey for shifting the game plan to be run-centric. That's progress. Merry Christmas. Stay safe. I'll give you a little bit of that. I'll give you a little bit of that. But there are moments where you caught, and this is where you know that Ken Dorsey called the right play, but we didn't execute because there was a couple times where the camera would pan into the press box and you'd see this. You can only imagine. Like a pictures, you know what I mean? Describe 1,000 words. The pictures can mean 1,000 words. You see this and the head rub, you know what I'm saying? Or when he took it out on that Surface tablet and he's banging that thing, there's a lot of passion back there. But there were a couple times today where he's like, golly. And one of them was when that interception thrown by Josh Allen. He's like, oh, God, Josh, what are you doing, big fella? So there were times where I was calling for Ken Dorsey to rein in Josh Allen. Like, get him on the phone and say, calm the fuck down. You're doing too much. Settle. Throwing across your body to a Gabe Davis when there's two guys there, settle. Throwing in double coverage to the 5-footed Isaiah McKenzie, you know what I'm saying? But great play by the safety. The safety played like he wasn't in the play and he dropped off. That's called being in the film room, knowing what Josh Allen wants to do. I mean, you got Isaiah McKenzie crossing over. Safety just made a great play and caught it, right? But that play was already predetermined by Josh. Josh was going to go to that play no matter what. He didn't see the safety interception, right? There were some moments where Coach Dorsey was like, oh, man, you got to make the right read. If that's not there, you got to be there. You can only picture and think of what he's saying, right? But for the most part, it's going to happen. There's going to be lapses in judgment. There's going to be defenses that come in and have a great game plan. And for that play, that was great. But there's some Josh Allen moments where you're like, dude, don't throw that. What were you thinking of throwing that? Why'd you rush that? That wasn't the right throw. Overthrow is the running back that's sitting in the flat. Interception. That's on Josh. That's not on Ken Dorsey. You know what I mean? Wait a minute. That's neither here nor there. PVC fan, what's good, man? Why is Shakir not on the field more? McKenzie is trash. Well, some might say, why isn't Cole Beasley on the field more? Why do you elevate him just to get him on the field for one reception? He is your third goal guy. He's your third down, and I need to move the sticks. So this is a question of, this is just my opinion here. I don't want to hurt feelings. You know what I'm saying? These guys are vet guys. They've earned their way. I don't want to just because we added one guy to diminish another. But when Khalil Shakir earlier this season, when we didn't have Isaiah McKenzie, we didn't have those guys, Khalil Shakir stepped up and did what he was supposed to do. Then all of a sudden that get forgotten? Well, he can't play no more? I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. I'm puzzled with the roster shakeup. Right? We acquire people, we elevate them just to have them just collect dust. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. But I'm not in the play. I'm not in the locker room. I'm not in the mindset and what's going on, and I'm not in the game plan. But I can only question. I can only voice my opinion on what I see. Right? You elevate a guy just to not to use him. You trade for a guy just to have him inactive. Right? You trade for a running back just to make him the punt returner, kick returner, and very little time on the field when he could be one of the more explosive guys on the team. But that's neither here nor there. But it's just those things that I question. Right? Shout out to Melissa Strange. Melissa Stage, excuse me, comes and says, "Hey Rico, I'm under the weather, and how are you?" Sorry. "Hey Rico, I'm under the weather. How are you? We got a terrible storm and everything shut down until Monday." Ooh, until Monday? Well, here's the good thing, Melissa. I hope you're feeling better. I'm still kind of under the weather right now. You got me going like I'm coughing here and there, but my voice is at least still here. Number two, at least it's Christmas time, and I'm hoping you guys got everything you guys need in terms of food and all that good stuff. And if you're spending time with family, even better. You have the family to hang out with. That's actually good. Until then, so stay safe out there. You know what I'm saying, and make sure that you fill your belly real good with your Christmas meal if you have the power. Hopefully, you guys have power. That's what matters at the end of the day. But you're with family. Let me keep going here. My man Tony Dubs. I saw Tony W come in with a comment. There we go. Tony comes and says, "Rico, if I remember correctly, you're Canadian, right?" "Yes, I am. We still love you and what you do for this network." Appreciate you all, man. Yeah, I am Canadian for those that don't know. And if you are just finding out that I'm Canadian, smash that like. And if you don't like Canadians, how could you not? We're nice people. We're always nice people. You know what I'm saying? So smash that like. My man Rev says, "Yo, there's no reason the Bills should be dominating teams. When they play like crap, they should be called out for it, even if they still win." Yeah, and there's some good parts and there's some bad parts. That's why we do the good, the bad, the ugly. And we'll wait for Tuesday's show and we'll do the good, the bad, the ugly. And we'll definitely talk about it. That's for damn sure. Um, Scott Blakely comes in and says that the defense played well post TD first series. Yeah, for sure. It's like we needed time to calm down. Once we calm down, then we were able to kind of, exert our dominance on this offense. That's not good enough to be on the field with us. Quite frankly, that's just the truth. So, were they able to stay with us? No. But first series that you're feeling each other out, they had a great series and they scored. Good for them. But they never did shit after that. By the way, Scott Blakely, do you still regret not going to the Bears game? Because I was looking at people in the stands. Boy, did they look cold. They looked freaking cold. They were sitting there just doing the best they can to stay warm. Got to give a shout out to the Bears squad. Got to give it to those that traveled from Buffalo to Chicago to watch this game, because that's rough staying in that stadium, man. Oof, that was cold. That was cold for real. Give a shout out to Bat Conquer. Bing Biggity Bing. Welcome to the Bing Squad, Bat Conquer. I appreciate that. Love and appreciation, man. We love it. Let me scroll on down because I got to catch up to the chat as we do this. Shout out to my man Rev, because my man Rev called that Kingsley Jonathan was going to have a good game today. There was a couple series, a couple plays that Kingsley, they mentioned his name like, "Oh shit, this guy's playing well," until he was offside. And then said, "Yo, get your ass off on the sideline. We put you on there to make plays, baby, not to get penalties, right?" But for the most part, he had it actually, for the time that he spent on the field. Great job by Kingsley Jonathan, for sure. Now, let's put a button on this whole situation. Let's put a button on this game, because this is a game that a few things needed to happen. A few things needed to happen. We needed to get out of this healthy. And relatively, we did get out of this healthy, except for Jordan Phillips. I think Jordan Phillips went down with an injury, with the same shoulder injury. So I'm not too thrilled about that, because he had a play today where he blew up the guard and made an exceptional play today. Loved every bit of that. Now, that's number one. We came out this relatively healthy. We got the W. We got the win. That's one thing that I really wanted to get, so we can clinch the division, and we got this going forward. We committed somewhat to the run game. We committed to the run game, and we showed out that we can run the ball. And I got to give a bigger shout out to both backs in Devin Singletary and James Cook. Buddy, James Cook looked smooth. And I've said it before, he's a smooth finesse runner. I just need him to take that, whatever Devin Singletary did last offseason when he put on some weight. If James Cook can put a little bit more weight on, he could be a very solid back. But he looked, man, did he ever look smooth. On that touchdown, pure speed and elusiveness got him in the end zone untouched. Loved seeing that. So a big shout out to the run game, a big shout out more specifically to James Cook and Devin Singletary. Y'all came through when you did it, man. Devin Singletary looked good, got his first 100-yard game. It would have been lovely to get 2 running backs under 100 yards, but missed opportunity there. A missed opportunity. Scott Blakely comes in with the answer because I asked him, does he regret not going to the Bills game and to the Bears game? And he says, no regrets. Neighbors had a blast and represented Buffalo. Plus, they shoveled my driveway as a thank you. Dude, that's a win-win. You got to watch your Bills win in the comfort and warmth of your own home, and the people that went had an amazing time and shoveled your driveway. Chef's kiss. Can't go wrong with that. That's lovely. That is lovely. So, yeah, Motor was cooking today, man. Motor and Cook were cooking today. And this is where my issue is with Ken Dorsey. We were able to do so well with running the football. Next week, I can totally see Ken Dorsey giving 4 carries to James Cook, 7 carries to Devin Singletary. Right? And abandoning the run and not even going back to the run. That's the thing that kind of bugs me with this man. Right? I get it. Every game plan is completely different. I totally get that part. But you just can't abandon these guys, man. You went from giving James Cook 20 carries, 20 touches one game to like 4. Don't you want to keep that trend going? Don't you want to keep it up? That's my problem with Ken Dorsey. I don't have a problem with Ken Dorsey's play calling. The play calling is one thing. It's where he's designating his play calling to that I have an issue with, right? The other part is just execution. We just got to be better at executing. But Dorsey is just he's so Jekyll and Hyde when it comes to game plan. It's just weird. You just never know what you're going to get with this guy. Honestly, you just never know. So you almost have to just go to the game and say, all right, what do we got today? Okay, this is going to be a pass-heavy game. What's new? There were moments today in this game where I was like, why are we passing? Why are we passing? We're up on this team. We should be just grinding it out and run the football until they stop it. But here goes Ken Dorsey having to fit his pass game, you know what I'm saying, agenda into the scheme. No, we're going to pass the ball. But hey, I'm not the offensive coordinator. I'm just a fan watching the game and seeing it the way you guys see it. You know what I'm saying? But I have no problems with Ken Dorsey. I'm a fan of Ken Dorsey. He just has his moments where I'm like, come on, fam. Ugh. Help me out. Help me out, brother. Help me out. My man Namdi says Dorsey game to game is schizophrenic. I'm telling you, man, you just never know with this guy. You never know with Ken Dorsey. It's a good thing and a bad thing. Because he's not predictable. He's definitely not predictable. He's definitely unpredictable. But we don't know that if we're gonna get the good predictable or the bad. It's just we'll see. We'll see. So I hope that he comes up with a great game plan and the Bengals just don't know what's coming to him and we wax the Bengals. But the way that we've been playing games and the way that we've been winning games, we haven't been waxing anything. We just been trying to, you know what I mean, just get by. This is the best win margin we've had in a long time, and I'll take it. We'll take it. So, but let's wrap this up and put a bow on it. Let's put a Christmas bow on this. Great win altogether. We won the division. We clinched the division. We should be thrilled about that. And we got just for you guys, we got something coming up very shortly. And if you check right now, the website is down. But if you check the BF Fan Shop, new tees are out. We are going to have division champs, and it's a new design. And shout out to my man Bobby, came up with it. It's dope. I love it. And let me just give you a small hint. The small hint is this: there's tombstones. That's all I'm gonna say. So go ahead and cop your tees and sweaters, all that good stuff, and use the code Rico Report. Try to use that code Rico Report. Give y'all percentage off Christmas and go from there, man. We'll take that win. Somebody said, great win. Bears are pathetic. Oh, we know. We know the Bears are pathetic, but Hey, a win is a win. That's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, when we get to the playoffs, we're not going to give two shits about the Bears. All we're going to wonder is, did we win against the Bears? Yes. Move on. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to care after this. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I get it. It wasn't sexy, but you know what? A win is a win. That's all we're going to say. Dorsey drives me crazy by the way he looked today. It might be more Allen than Dorsey. Oh, today was definitely Allen more than Dorsey. Allen was just off today. Allen was not the Allen that we got last week. He wasn't dialed in. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's that mustache he had on. I don't know what it was, but Allen was just, it wasn't, he wasn't the Allen that we need him to be today. Now, did he have, you know what I'm saying, some touchdowns at the end to kind of make it look better? Absolutely. That bootleg was great. Even the announcer called it 4th and 3, or it was 3rd and short, and we did a bootleg, and then boom, we got it. And then he had that touchdown to Dawson Knox off the turnover, capitalize on turnovers. And here's the big thing. I got to go back to it because this is one stat that I did not catch that I need to go back, and that's red zone. And when it comes to red zone, this is where we need to capitalize. And today in the red zone, I'm looking at for our red zone. Where's our red zone here? There we go. So today in the red zone, 3 for 4, 75% in the red zone. We'll take it. Obviously, we had that missed field goal from T Bass today. T Bass didn't have he had a shaky game today, man. He couldn't quite get where the wind was coming from because he missed that extra point. We're like, okay, anomaly. That doesn't normally happen. That's fine. Then he misses the field goal wide. We're like, okay, something clearly is up. There wasn't a way for him to figure out the wind, but then it looked like he started to get his act together, and then he figured out, okay, the wind is pushing really hard this way, so I got to kick the ball this way. Tough being a kicker in this league, man, especially when you have to figure out where the wind is coming from and how strong. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is at this point. You got to do what you got to do. But for the most part, 3 for 4 is excellent in the red zone. That's what we got to do. We've been really good as of late in the red zone, and we must keep that up. That's what allows us to insert our dominance on guys. When we get in the red zone, we capitalize in the red zone, and we don't want to not capitalize. And let's just limit the turnovers. But at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. So, running game was strong, defense was strong. You know what I'm saying? Offensively, we could be better in the pass game today, and it's just I'm still tripped out by not getting Stephon Diggs involved in the first half. We should never not get our freaking best receiver involved in this game, ever. You should never have to wait until second half to get Stephon Diggs involved. I'm sorry. It just can't happen. It just can't happen. But it did. So we're going to learn from this. We're going to watch the film. And Josh Allen, frankly, just has to be better. That's what it comes down to. He just has to be better. We can't have the Jekyll and Hyde where you go off and you're amazing the next, and you come in and do this against a team that we should never, ever let them think that they're still in the game, right? But when you give the ball up and you turn the ball over, those are the things that will happen. It's just what it is. Josh Allen now has the most total touchdowns in the first 5 seasons in the NFL history over Dan Marino today. He's at 174, but played like ass. You know what? He's breaking records. But he played like ass today. But you know what? Let's give Josh Allen his kudos, man. Let's give him his flowers. That's a record that stood for a very long time of Dan Marino's. Dan Marino had 171. A lot of people thought that maybe he's not going to get broken down. And you got to give it to him, man. Dan Marino did all that mostly in the air. I'd say like 90% of it was done in the air. Kudos to freaking Dan Marino. But you know what? There's a new sheriff in town. And his name is Joshua Allen. And Josh came through, and he now has the record for the most touchdowns in a 5-year span at 174. So salute to Josh Allen. The boy's a dog. He's a beast. I love that quarterback. That's my quarterback. But shit, man, not a good game today. But it doesn't mean I don't love that team. Doesn't mean I don't love that quarterback. It might be raining, but I got that umbrella over Josh Allen. Be like, I love you. You make bozo damn mistakes, but you're not going to get rained on. I'm not going to let you get rained on because you're still that dude. Still love him. And we all still love Allen. That's just what it is, man. He's just going to have those games. You got to live with and die with it. We live and die with it. We know that. Josh Allen's going to Josh Allen. He's going to Josh. and we just gotta live. We just gotta live with it. All right. So, folks, if I missed something, please let me know if I missed anything. If you guys enjoyed the show, do me a favor, smash that like, hit that subscribe. Guys, we're so close. We're so damn close to 25,000 subscribers. Please, if you have not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Help us get to that milestone. It means a lot to us. We started this thing back in 2017, late 2017, right into 2018, October of 2017. So we've been at this for 4.5 years, and we're at 25,000 subscribers, man. So we appreciate that, and let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. And listen, it's Christmas time, so it's Christmas Eve, and like forget about football, man. The Bills got us the dub, so we can now enjoy our Christmas Eve dinner. Some people have a meal tonight. Some people have a big Christmas dinner tomorrow. So whatever it is you're having, enjoy it. Enjoy the time with the family. Make that phone call to that one person that potentially is by themselves, right? It makes a difference to them. And if you want to take a step further, come on over. We got room for you. But for the most part, enjoy your families, enjoy your friends. Merry Christmas to everybody in this. And we'll see you guys Tuesday, because it's games tomorrow, but they're spread out. And then we're back at it again on Monday with my Z-Bot. And we're back at it again on Tuesday with me. And I got the whole week off because I took annual. So I'm good. I'm going to be chilling. So we will see you again. And by the way, how could I leave this show without giving a shout out to my guy, Nate Peterman? Nate Peterman came through and threw an interception to add to his total. But the fact that we got to see Nate Peterman, I'm cool. You know what? I might just hit Nate Peterman up and yo, send me a Bears jersey of yours, please. Because I genuinely like Nate Peterman. I do, as a man. And he could be a better football player, but I like him. I like what he did for us. And I might just hit up Nate Peterman and say, yo, throw me a jersey, big guy. We'll see how that plays out. But for the most part, we appreciate you guys, from Bills Mafia, from Buffalo Fanatics, to the fans that have been supporting us all throughout the years. We appreciate you very much. So Tony W., thank you for doing what you do. And I thank you for tuning in, Tony. Appreciate that super chat. Love it very much. And you guys have yourself a fantastic rest of the evening. And we will catch you guys on the flip side. Go Bills, and enjoy the rest of the evening, folks. Let me put my music here and let you guys fade out and chat and go about it in the chat right now. So let me get my music queued up and we can get this thing going, man. Bills win 35-13 against the lowly Bears. We didn't make them look lowly, but nonetheless, we got the dub, and that's all that matters in my book. So there it is, folks. Bills win. 200-yard rushing game. And we get to win. Division champs. Let's watch the Jets implode. Let's watch the Dolphins implode. You know what I'm saying? And let's handle business like we're supposed to. This could be the year for the Buffalo Bills to win the whole damn thing. It may not all be sexy, but at the end of the day, all that matters is we get the dub. That's it. That's all. Nothing else to be said. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your Christmas. It's your boy, and I'm gone. Hugs and kisses. Catch you on the flip. Peace.